Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SmackDown. I'm your host, Christopher Billings, alongside Wes Steele, and surely what is going to be a great night here on SmackDown. It's our last show on SmackDown versus Raw 2011.
Yeah, we are going to be switching over to 12 here in a couple weeks. We've got one more show before we head into our pay-per-view for the month, and it is sure to be an exciting pay-per-view indeed.
And yeah, it's definitely going to be pretty big, to say the least. I'm still, the power plant fans are still buzzing about what happened last week between this man, Diehard, and Jordan. They were scheduled for the tag match, and Diehard basically cold-cocked Jordan, and then Jordan turned around and won a handicap match.
Yeah, he really held his own last week. I was very impressed by that. He stepped up and he took over. He picked up the slack that Diehard left him, and sure pulled off a great win there last night.
Oh, it was a huge big ego booster. And then, Jordan took it to Twitter and definitely got the support of the people, but he basically told Diehard, I don't need you. And I think maybe Diehard's starting to realize that he's not as strong as he once was, because now everybody is rising against him.
Yeah, and he's going to have a formidable opponent in Jordan Moore, so it's sure to be a great match when they finally do meet.
Oh yeah, that would be spectacular to see. I mean, I don't know what capacity we have for them, but it would definitely be something to see. But it looks like Diehard's probably here for a reason. He's not dressed to compete, so I'm assuming he's got something to say.
He almost always does, so I'm not really shocked at that.
I got a lot of calls this past week about what happened between Jordan and myself last week on SmackDown, and maybe I was in the wrong when I attacked him, but that was my initial thought when everybody was telling me I was wrong. But then I got to thinking, and he couldn't get the job done when titles were on the line, but he could do it in a non-title match. He could beat two men at one time in a non-title. He couldn't do it in, when it was important. I mean, a week, who cares about the weekly SmackDown show and beating two guys? It matters when you can do that at a pay-per-view. And, I sent Jordan a text message earlier, last week, or late last week after SmackDown, and I told him I'd give him a second chance. And you want to know what he responded with? He told me he doesn't want to be with me anymore, and he said he's coming for me. So I sat and I wondered for a little bit, and I wondered, why would he want to face me? Then it dawned on me. He wants the gold that I have around my waist. Well, there's only one problem with that. I don't want to part ways with my title. And unfortunately tonight, both myself and Jordan have been suspended from SmackDown. My wife said it's to stop any chance of an instigation between me and him, or any type of fight breaking out. So after I say this, after I tell you about what's going to happen at Over the Limit on December 17th, I have to leave the arena. I didn't know I was suspended until I got here and I was getting ready to come out. So at Over the Limit, it's going to be me versus Jordan Moore for the Power Plant Championship. And there's one thing that Jordan just is failing to realize. When I'm under pressure, I come out on top. You can ask the many that have fallen before me. So I guess you'll just have to deal with watching a bunch of no-lifes competing on my show. The only person I wish luck tonight is Ruben Corbana. Only because that guy knows what it's all about. He knows how to win matches. He knows how to get titles. So folks, I will see you on December 10th when I come back to the ring, when I'm in in-ring action. But until then, have a good night and enjoy the rest of the show.
Well, that definitely is interesting.
Yeah, definitely. That's quite the statement there. Both Jordan and Diehard suspended from in-ring activity this week and not even allowed to be in the arena. That's a shocker there from Melinda Guerrero.
And I wonder if that's really going to help the situation, because like he said, on December 10th, if Dyer is allowed to be here on December 10th and Jordan's allowed to be here on December 10th, 1 week before Over the Limit, I'm afraid of what's going to happen. But now, you know, switching gears here, Ryan Castle's coming down, and he has an unknown opponent tonight.
Yeah, I was talking to him a little bit earlier to see if he had any idea, if he talked to anybody and found out who he's going to be up against here tonight. Everybody's kind of in the dark about this.
Yeah, and it's almost unfortunate, but for somebody that's, you know, that he's the guy that injured John Incredible, and so I have a disdain naturally for Ryan Castle. But I mean, ultimately, you should know who you're facing.
Well, you can't really judge somebody by what happens with when somebody gets injured. You know, but he's a great competitor. He's a great in-ring competitor.
Wait a second, I recognize this theme song. And I remember this grayscale. But this is who I think it is. Ryan Castle might be in for a long night tonight. I know that the suspense is killing me, and it's driving the. And sure enough, it is Alexander Monroe of AOW.
Sure is. Wow, that's another huge name to enter the power plant here tonight. He is one of the most decorated champions to ever set foot in AOW, and a fantastic addition here tonight for power plant.
Well, you know, back when he was in CWA, he was a one-time MVP champion. He was a CWA champion. He was a TV champion. He was a IEO Insane World champion. This guy has been decorated with titles his entire wrestling career.
And he's been around for years. He's been studying and wrestling since May of 2000 when he made his debut. So he's been around a very long time.
Exactly, and you know, this is great for me because, you know, the first match that I got to call with Alexander Monroe and Nick Virtue, you know, I had Joey Anderson out here with me. He was kind of sidetracking me, so hopefully this time around we'll get to actually give the real play-by-play that a great superstar like Alexander Monroe deserves.
You said you had who out with you?
You know, that one bald guy.
Oh, that one really ugly guy. Gotcha. Right. I couldn't stand him.
So I wonder how Alexander Monroe is gonna beat down such a big man though, because wow, and look at this, Alexander Monroe rolls to the outside. He's already playing mind games with Ryan Castle. We're in the first 10 seconds of the match.
Yeah, just rolled straight out of the ring. Got to make him think about it a little
And look at that. Wait a second. He just
jumps right back in the ring.
He is a very intelligent wrestler.
Yeah, he's got that ring savvy that you can't teach. That's something that you get from just years of practicing in the ring, and I mean that's he knows what he's doing out there.
Well, look at that, Ryan Castle back in, and then Alexander Monroe goes right back to the outside
again.
He is playing games with Ryan Castle right now, and Ryan Castle he's got to be getting angry here.
That's frustration right there on the face of Ryan Castle. He's getting very frustrated with how this match is starting.
Oh, wait a second. He stayed on the apron there. Wait a second. What is Alexander Monroe kind of playing possum there? Oh, and a big kick to the leg. And again.
Two big kicks to the leg, and then a great reversal there by Ryan Castle.
There was those kicks, you know, those really hurt when you're getting kicked in the back of your kneecap like that.
Definitely. And a great scoop slam. And, oh, I think he got the eyes. That's a great tactic.
Alexander Monroe is definitely sending a message tonight. I know he's been in a kind of dark cloud, you know, with he's been getting some negative feedback from people around the world, but he's definitely sending a message tonight to Ryan Castle that he will do whatever it takes. And look at that, not even a 1 count.
Yeah, and that was another scoop slam there by Ryan Castle, and a giant boot across the face. And he drops a knee right across the back of the head. That does not feel good either, I'm sure.
Especially he's a 300-pound man.
Definitely, yeah.
Folks, we got to take a quick break. We will be right back.
Think you're the best ever.
Me too.
Want my churro? Really, you can have it.
My patient just died. You think the Spanish deep-fried snack is going to make things better?
I guess I'll see you around then.
Hey, kid. Catch.
Ow!
Really thought you had that.
And we're back here, folks. And during the break, I mean, Alexander Monroe was just taking it to Ryan Castle. I mean, Ryan Castle got a couple of impressive moves off, but this onslaught from Alexander Monroe has just been relentless.
Yeah, and it really all comes down to your history. It comes down to, you know, how much time you spend in the ring, and Alexander Monroe really has that advantage over Ryan Castle in this match. I mean, in terms of experience, there are very few people that have been in this business longer than Alexander Monroe.
Well, like, I mean, as you saw, you know, Ryan Castle's starting to get very slow when he's moving around, you know, and he's a very large athlete, and so when he was getting in and out of the ring at the beginning, they're like we were saying during the break, you know, he's getting slow. You know, his stamina's running out. He doesn't have the energy that the smaller guys have.
Well, it doesn't help that people his size and they don't have as much stamina because they exert so much more energy and strength and whatnot. And you know, that's not his fault, but with the way that and it was strategy by Alexander Monroe that he really. That was a very strategic move to kind of wear his opponent out early.
Yeah, it was very strategic of him, and he's gotten the better of Ryan Castle because of that. And I mean, as you see, it takes longer for Ryan Castle to get into the ring. I mean, we were up to an 8 count. He almost got counted out.
Yeah, and that was actually the second time. The first time, Alexander Monroe could have taken that win due to count out, but he chose to go back out there and keep punishing.
Yeah, he came
Castle.
in the ring and broke the count, and, you know, again, going to work on the legs. And now, you know, Alexander Monroe is definitely taking it to Ryan Castle. I mean, he's dragging him around the ring.
He's having his way with Ryan Castle here tonight, and it's showing in a huge shoulder rather. They're going right into the back of the turnbuckle, the middle unexposed part of the turnbuckle.
And again,
yeah. It's little things like that you do that it really picks apart your opponent. And when you can pick apart of a bigger guy and you know, use their strength and their size against them, it's really going to play to your advantage when you're facing somebody that's literally twice your size.
exactly, you know, because I mean, Ryan Castle's got at least 100 pounds in weight on him and at least 6 inches in height.
Definitely, at least, and it's really showing here tonight.
Well, that's a big move from the big powerhouse, and now just grabbing the head there and smashing it into the ring mat.
Yeah, and he'll take whatever he can get in this match. He's a great competitor. Don't get me wrong, he's a great competitor, and he's a big, power-hungry powerhouse. But this is, you know, he'll do what he can to try to get out of here tonight with a win.
Most definitely, and I wouldn't blame him for trying to take the win off from just some random move, because I mean, Monroe's just been lighting him up all match, and as you saw, just right
there, there's just like 8 punches straight to the face of Ryan Castle, and he couldn't do anything about it.
I know, and he wasn't even really covering himself up, but wait a second, Ryan Castle, he's got the arm hook with a kind of single arm suplex there. It looks like the back elbow of Monroe kind of hit the corner of the stairs.
He might have clipped those steel stairs, and that might be his only saving grace in this match if he can keep this slower tempo against Alexander Monroe.
Well, see, I mean, and Monroe got up like it didn't even faze him. It's Monroe is here. He's definitely sending a statement, and now Monroe is on the top rope.
Yes, stalking his prey. He's just perched on the top rope, waiting.
And a huge flying clothesline off the top rope.
That's a fantastic move.
Into the cover here. Lifts the leg. 1, 2. Only a 2 count for Monroe.
And that's actually pretty surprising for me. That I kind of figured the match was over right there.
Yeah, I figured the same thing, because I mean, Ryan Castle is getting slapped around the ring, and now he's trying to fight back here. And a big scoop slam.
Yeah, that's the third scoop slam of that magnitude that he's delivered this match. And a nice triangle hold here by Ryan Castle, but Alexander Monroe just fights out of it and bounces straight back to his feet like it's nothing.
And Monroe going to work on the legs, and again, you know, that stamina factor is the biggest benefactor for this, because with, like you said, Ryan Castle, he's not blessed with the stamina that most smaller guys are, and with Alexander Monroe being a smaller guy, he's able to, go for these extreme lengths, but a big belly to back there by Ryan Castle.
And that was a great suplex from a bigger guy that isn't, somebody that would be known for flexibility, but that was a great extension, great suplex there by Ryan Castle.
That was beautiful, and now just big rights, and now Ryan Castle's in that corner there, and there's nothing fancy or pretty about those shoulder thrusts to the lower back.
But it sure as heck is effective, and you can't put anything on Alexander Monroe. You can't say anything about that because he's getting the job done right now.
And you see, and I can't even disagree with that, because right now, because Alex knows that if Ryan Castle hits a very big move, it could end his career.
Definitely, and you've got to pay attention. You've got to stay focused on what's going on. But what's he doing?
It looks like Alexander Monroe is bringing some stairs into the match.
What's he got in mind here?
Wait a
Big
second.
punch. No, he's not.
He's gonna do it, and a huge superplex onto the stairs.
That's an enormous superplex. That's wow. He rolls him over, and he's got him in that Anaconda Vice. That's signature Anaconda Vice there by Alexander Monroe.
For the rope break, we're at a 3, 4. He's got to break it before a 5, and the referee has disqualified Alexander Monroe. Ryan Castle picks up a win by disqualification tonight.
And I'm sure he'll take that win however he can get it. But that was a fantastic match here tonight.
Well, I definitely don't think that Ryan Castle is going to be asking Alexander Monroe for a rematch anytime soon.
Nobody will.
Wow, I just totally surprised. On a side note, we still have a lot of action to get to, folks. We will be back with you in just a moment. We have to take a quick commercial break.
And welcome back, guys, here on SmackDown tonight. We are about to get another match underway here tonight, and we are seeing again the appearance of Ruben Corbana. This should be an interesting matchup here tonight. He is a former NWF champion and a former King of the Ring winner, so him making an appearance on SmackDown last week, making a statement, calling out the Clique, really. This should be an interesting match here tonight.
Most definitely. And the interesting part is he doesn't know who he's facing.
None of us do. So I'll be interested to see who Melinda has put him against here tonight.
I'm definitely interested to know. I mean, he's definitely. I'm not a big fan of his in-ring style. He's Die Hard told him good luck tonight for whoever he was facing. And maybe that's why him and Die Hard are friends, because they share similar beliefs in doing matches. I'm not one of his fans. I'm not a big fan of Ruben Corbana.
Well, I'm not a huge fan either, but he does what he needs to do to win, and you have to respect that. And that's where he and Die Hard are very similar in the fact that they get the job done no matter what it takes.
Oh my goodness, it is explicit. Explicit is the mystery opponent. I'm loving this.
Yeah, and this will be a test for both. Explicit, the current $1 million champion, and facing Ruben Corbana here tonight. He's never been the power plant in a power plant match before, so this should be a very interesting bout.
Definitely, it will be a very, very interesting match. You know, and I know a lot of people say that I'm this huge fan of Explicit, and I am, because Explicit, he is a very deserving champion. You know, he got the $1 million title. He fought tooth and nail at No Mercy.
He also didn't really have a great opponent per se. I can question. I'll question it. You can like him if you want. I'm gonna stay questioning it with the opponent that he had. He wasn't exactly a strong opponent to be facing.
Well, we touched on that, you know, last week about that Shane Silver may not have been ready, and maybe Shane Silver just wasn't ready for Explicit. You know, it's very possible.
I guess, but I'll give him more respect when I see him beat an opponent that I would consider somebody that's a little bit tougher than Shane Silver.
Well, it's definitely shaping up to be one heck of, you know, Over the Limit's going to be one heck of a pay-per-view, and I'm curious to know who Explicit's going to be facing.
Yeah, and I'll be very interested to see. And like I said, I'll give the devil his due when I see him beat somebody that would be a formidable opponent, and this is a great example of that here tonight.
Well, this is definitely going to tear the roof up here. Ruben Corbano with that reversal of the Irish whip, and now sends Explicit into the ropes. Ducks under him there. Ducks under him again. That's three duck unders there. Explicit caught himself on the ropes.
Yeah, I kind of question the technique of Ruben Corbano there, but a great knee lift and going for an early cover here.
Very early cover. Not even a 1 count there after that raised knee lift there to the abdomen. You know, I have to agree with you. I do question. A quick roll out of the ring. That pullback Hurricanrana may have phased Ruben Corbana there, but that missed attempted plancha from the top there to the outside, that definitely costed Explicit there. And it seems that every week our stairs get messed up on the show.
Yeah, we in between the matches we go out there and we fix them, and people just get thrown into them again. And leave the stairs alone.
And a quick roll up there, as you saw by Ruben Corbana, only got a 2 count on that one. Trying to keep the current $1 million champion down. Hooks the arms here with the double underhook, but Explicit counters a big back body drop.
Yeah, a great counter there by Explicit on the opponent that is much larger than him.
Yeah, you know, and with Explicit, you know, he is definitely the ultimate underdog. You know, he weighs 175 pounds.
Yeah, he's not big by any means.
And, you know, that's why I kind of take offense to when Die Hard, you know, insulted Explicit last week and said about losing a match to somebody that was that small. I mean, there are Cinderella stories, and right now Explicit is in the Cinderella story, and it's a great place for him to be. I don't see Shane Silver being somebody that could have beaten Explicit even on his best day. He was not ready for the power plant by any means. Well, you know, that's definitely, you know, I'm not disagreeing with that because of, you know, I did read the resignation fax that he sent to Melinda Guerrero, and the way that he submitted the resignation, like the wording for it, was not professional. So maybe he really wasn't ready.
And yeah, I don't believe that he was, and he was in a good group of people, but he couldn't pull his weight. He wasn't ready to be here. And wow, that
physical strength,
fantastic strength there by Explicit on an opponent that again is much larger than him.
Exactly, because Ruben Corbana weighs in at about 250 pounds. He's about the same size as Die Hard physically, and he picked up Ruben Corbana, and he didn't just suplex him; he held him there for a good 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's fantastic strength, but a huge
slingshot using the ropes as a weapon there.
Right, and that's what you see from somebody like Ruben Corbana. Like I said, he does what he needs to get the job done, and using everything as a tag team partner per se, and went right there from our Spanish announce table right over to the steel steps, and he's using those to his advantage right now.
There you see Explicit kind of countered it. They're trying to gain a little bit of momentum here. We're at a 6 count on the outside. They have until a 10 to get back in the ring. Explicit, the first one back in the ring. Corbana follows. And then, as you see, Corbana pulls him right into a big spine buster there.
Oh, that was
about raw power.
That was a great spine buster.
Into the sharpshooter here.
And this is a big submission move by somebody that's much bigger and much stronger than his opponent.
Exactly, and Explicit showing that he's got leg power, not just back power, but he's got leg power there, able to power out with his legs.
And those big kicks, those are very strong, very physical kicks that he uses against that opponent. And when you can take the base out of a big opponent, somebody that that is much taller, much stronger, if you can take their base out, that's really going to help him. And here, going with a cover.
Only a 1 count on Ruben Corbana. Evidently, Explicit has not done enough damage yet. I don't know. I mean, this is almost like a remake of earlier. You know, we've got Explicit facing Ruben Corbana, definite size disadvantage for Explicit. We had Alexander Monroe face Ryan Castle a few minutes ago, definite size advantage or disadvantage for Monroe, but Monroe would, got himself disqualified.
Right, but you kind of see this match has been a lot more back and forth than the previous match was. Ryan Castle was not prepared for an opponent like Alexander Monroe, but these two seem to be a little bit more equal when it comes to in-ring ability.
And you see, that's the unfortunate part about Ryan Castle, was that Die Hard signed Ryan Castle after just seeing him in one match in an independent circuit. He didn't really know anything about Ryan Castle, and I'm not saying that it's a bad investment, but maybe before they had Ryan Castle start showing physical matches, maybe they should have had him train and practice a little bit, get used to the way things work.
And that's why I think Die Hard might be losing his touch a little bit, in my opinion, but a little show-offy cover there by Ruben Corbana onto Explicit. He kicks out of the 2 count.
Big springboard by Explicit there, hooks the far leg, and the referee just kind of dancing around. 1, 2, only a 2 count.
I heard a fan yell in the crowd. I think that's what he was looking at. He wasn't really paying attention to what's going on in the ring. I think we might need a new ref out there.
Yes, unfortunately, sometimes the referees do some strange things, and that was a very acrobatic front roll that Explicit did there.
Followed up, jumped right back to his feet with a big kick straight to the jaw, and here another pin and almost a 3 count. It was a late 2 count on the Corbana by Explicit.
And every time I come here, and I'm in when I commentate these matches, I'm so excited because when the bald guy was here commentating with me, the guy that was
right,
ugly.
that one we talked about earlier that we don't talk about anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he always said that he didn't understand that when you are a commentator, you connect with the superstars, and I connect with everybody in the locker room.
And here another pin. Hook at that far leg, and again a late 2 count. You gotta wonder if Explicit is finally getting under the skin a little bit of Corbana. He's wearing him down.
Well, when I talked to Explicit earlier this week, I asked him what his thoughts were going into this, if he would have been, the mystery opponent. And he said if it was him, he was going to go out there and, show Corbana why he shouldn't have said the things that he said.
Well, and I agree with that, but there was talk that it might have been Jordan that was in this match here tonight, and you got to wonder if that was the original plan that Melinda had before she made that announcement that he and Die Hard were banned from the arena tonight.
Well, what I imagine is that I know that Miss Guerrero had said, or Melinda had said, that when Die Hard and Jordan were going to tag, and then she said she already knew who the opponent was going to be for Ruben Corbana. What makes me wonder is maybe with the situation that happened, then maybe that's why she changed the match, because I had heard as well that it was going to be Ruben Corbana versus Jordan Moore.
Well, it would have made sense with Corbana being very open and Die Hard being very open, the fact that they were friends, and that might have taken him down a notch off his perch that he's on, being on top of the world with the Power Plant Championship, and so that might have been a good idea, but unfortunately, and a great pin Wow, fantastic
off of
flexibility.
off of that tiger suplex, which when you deliver the tiger suplex to somebody, it hurts you almost as much as it hurts your opponent because you're throwing the back of your neck and your spine right onto the mat.
Definitely. I mean, he was literally standing on his head, supporting himself with only his neck there in that bridged pin attempt. And if something like that could pay off, that's fantastic. But you got to wonder what damage it does if it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is we get a lot of people in the power plant at times that have amazing collegiate wrestling experience. Some of them NCAA or NCAA champions and things like that, or national wrestling champions. But Explicit, he only was a high school wrestler. He was on the wrestling team in high school, and yet he was able to do a flexible move like that.
Yeah, and he's one of those people that was probably scouted in a couple of indie matches and saw that he's got what it takes to compete on a level like this. And when you take risks, signing somebody like Explicit is the same risk you take signing somebody like Shane Silver. And in this case, it really paid off with Explicit. As much as I hate to say it, even though he's part of the clique and they aren't somebody that I would place myself around. He is a great champion. He's a great in-ring competitor. But here at a hook of the far leg by Ruben Corbana.
Only a 2 count on Explicit there. Yeah.
But he's a great in-ring competitor. As much as I hate to say it, along with Brick Wall and AC Arthurs, they are all great in-ring competitors.
And Explicit went quickly for that cover. There was no flies on him. He only got a 2 count, though, on Ruben Corbana. As you said earlier, these two are pretty much evenly matched in this matchup. I mean, it's just been back and forth and back and forth.
And they are leaving it all in the ring here tonight, and that's what I like seeing, especially somebody, that isn't really a main eventer per se. He's a champion, but he's not at that main event level. When you get people that put on shows like this, you gotta imagine they're gonna be pushing for that sooner or later.
Oh yeah, and here's a quick cover here by Ruben Corbana, but Explicit able to kick out after that modified seated backbreaker. I mean, he lifted him up on his shoulders and then did like a sit-down backbreaker.
What's he just threw the ref out of the ring.
That he did. I'm curious to know what he's thinking here. Oh, and a big raised knee lift.
That was a great counter, but Explicit back to his feet. What's Corbana doing? He took the cover off the turnbuckle.
Wait a second, off the ropes here. Oh, Corbana had it well scouted. You got to believe that Explicit was looking for the epidemic there as he hit the ropes.
Definitely, but he tripped him up, and I think he kind of caught his jaw or his a little bit of his throat on that bottom rope.
And now face first into that exposed turnbuckle.
I don't think the ref knows that it's off. He was out on the floor. He is back in the ring now, but I don't think he's realized that turnbuckle cover has been removed.
Now Explicit with a kind of seated reverse DDT there.
A modified DDT of some sort, and back over the ropes into the top rope.
A big attempted moonsault. He went for it all and got nothing off of that one. And this would be the moment that Corbana should have pinned him.
Yeah, that would have been a great opportunity for a pin. That was huge, a huge miss.
A very huge miss. An attempted big boot in the corner. Explicit saw it coming.
Nice counter by Explicit here tonight.
Into a standing tie-up between these two, and Corbana gets the better of the situation. Now that quick suplex there. I mean, it's just, the more this match drags on, that's when, again, that stamina issue comes into play. Who's going to, have what it takes. And Explicit, being innovative as usual, has a double underhook, turns it around into a neck breaker.
You got to wonder how much these competitors have left in them tonight. This has been quite the lengthy match, and both are still going as hard as they were at the beginning.
Exactly, and that's the impressive part about a lot of the superstars in the power plant. The ones that I do get to talk to, I don't talk to Die Hard. I didn't talk to Jordan until after, like last week when I talked to Jordan earlier this week. He was aware of being suspended, or he said he figured that he was going to be something along that nature. But a big back elbow there from Corbana into the cover here, only a 2 count. But yeah, Jordan had said that he thought something was up because he said he had contacted Melinda earlier in the week, and she said that she needed to talk to him, and they just kind of were playing phone tag the rest of the week.
Yeah, and I kind of saw the same thing coming. I spoke to Die Hard, and he said that he had been having trouble communicating with his wife, and so he thought that it was coming, and sure enough, here tonight. And Ruben Corbana kind of dropping the neck down on the top rope, and a great suplex and pin combination there by Corbana, but he got the rope break off of it.
And then right into the exposed turnbuckle goes Corbana.
And that turnbuckle that he removed the cover, coming back to bite him, and a great bulldog there by Explicit. You kind of feel the momentum picking up here for Explicit.
This has become a big springboard kick to the face.
That was a fantastic. It was like a flash kick kind of thing, and you see that a lot by people like Explicit and by Jordan Moore also using that move, and it's very effective.
It is a very effective move. I mean, somebody's leaping all their body weight at you, and they're lunging their foot.
I'm sure it doesn't feel good.
Oh, I'm definitely sure it doesn't. And and again, the tenacity of these superstars alone. They come into the ring and they put their best effort forward, and you don't always get the person you want to win doesn't always win, but they leave it in the ring, and that's probably one of the greatest things about these superstars.
Yeah, definitely, and they are putting on quite the show here tonight for our SmackDown, our Power Plant viewers, and this is again a fantastic match. We've had two great matches here so far tonight. This one isn't even over.
Exactly, and we're just now getting into the show here. I mean, the first match was spectacular in its own right, in a brutal beatdown to Ryan Castle. Now this match, it's got some of the most back and forth I've seen in a real long time. I mean, look at that thumb to the eye, a thumb to the eye there.
Yeah, that's a dirtier tactic, but something that definitely works. But Explicit again, just taking it right back to him. He's not backing down from somebody that is much larger than him.
Explicit is ready, and it looks like he was going for that trademark drop kick there, but Corbana had it well scouted. And now wait a second, what's Corbana doing? A seated face plant. Wait a second, he's hooking the arms and the legs. He has him in a modified, almost like a reverse camel clutch there.
Yeah, that's like a double underhook. I'm not even sure what to call that.
Exactly, that's like a double under leg arm hook.
You should probably stop trying. You're gonna hurt yourself.
As you see, Explicit leg drop a little right to the groinal abdomen area. It may have been a little bit below the belt, but if the referee doesn't call it, then it is fair game.
Sure is. And, oh, you saw Explicit setting him up,
and he was going in full head of steam too.
And just not that stamina factor might be playing a part finally in this match.
Yeah, I mean, after you get going so long in a match, your body's tired. You don't want to get up from the moves, and now this is the tower of that's the Explicit tower right there. Just that hanging jawbreaker off the top, and Explicit whips Corbana into the ropes, runs at him. Wait a second, the epidemic,
and that might be it. That might be the end of the match right there.
2, and then a 3 count by Explicit.
He got it. He got him again. The smaller guy pulling off, a big. Well, I shouldn't say again, but this was a fantastic match and a great victory, a huge victory here for Explicit tonight.
Definitely a very big win for Explicit. And we're only halfway through the show. A huge win for Explicit. To say the least. And it's great that he's finally getting to where he needs to be. I think by him winning that title, it's got him in the mindset that he can win, and that's where every superstar should be. They should be in the mindset that they can win.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I kind of questioned him at first, but he changed my mind here tonight, pulling off a great win on a very formidable opponent in Ruben Corbana. But we will be right back.
Did you hear about the car company test driving cars on the internet? You just log on, click drive, and hit the space bar to accelerate, all from your living room. That's absurd. This is the all-new 2011 Dodge Charger, available for real test drives.
welcome back to the Power Plant SmackDown here tonight. This is shaping up to be an interesting match. We've had two.
Wow! Why am I going the opposite direction of everybody else?
With Ryan Castle and Alexander Monroe, and then our very last match with Explicit dominating in a match against Ruben Corbana. Those are two fantastic matches so far here tonight.
You know, and speaking of fantastic matches, and with those fantastic matches, both of those matches, the first match, Alexander Monroe destroyed Ryan Castle, and Alexander Monroe's in AOW. This young man, Ryan Cavallari, he is also in AOW, and his partner tonight, Sylvestre Inno, is in AOW as well. So AOW is trying to make an impact here on SmackDown. It's the Power Plant, which is very interesting to say the least. I did not expect anything like this.
No, this is a little bit of an AOW invasion, per se.
Exactly.
Kind of curious as to why Melinda set this up or agreed to it. I'm not sure I agree with it, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Well, I know Melinda Guerrero is all about the business. I know that she's all about what she can do to make money, because if you're not in this to make the money, then you're in it for the wrong reasons. And I wonder why she's got him here, but maybe she thinks this will be a good business decision, mixing the tag team champions of the Power Plant with former tag team champions of AOW, something of that nature.
Yeah, maybe. And I guess that would make sense. It'll bring more people into our arenas to watch our shows, and I guess that's a good business decision. But it'd be nice to see a week that we didn't have to worry about another promotion kind of invading. And
yes,
maybe it's just me.
I almost feel the same way. I wonder, if we're going to get to the point where every week we're going to start having different people here from different places. I wonder if that is truly a good business strategy, because I don't know if Melinda Guerrero is giving insight to these other companies or not, or because I know it's not Die Hard that's scheduling this, because I could understand Die Hard maybe seeking out Alexander Monroe or like Nick Virtue, but or even Corbana, but other people. And I'm not taking anything against Sylvestre or Ryan Cavallari, but I just don't see. I couldn't see Die Hard going out and pulling them to come and compete on this show.
No, I don't see this being a decision by Die Hard at all. Like you said, I understand Corbana being his friend. That would make sense, but I'm not sure I understand that at all.
Well, and unfortunately, we don't really know much about Ryan Cavallari and Sylvestre Inno, but we do know a lot about the Clique, and that's always something, that's a good thing. We know about them.
Yeah, we know what they've done, what they're capable of, although they are coming off a big loss in a handicap match last week against Jordan Moore. They were shaped up to be in a tag team match against Jordan and Die Hard, which would have been very interesting to see. But Die Hard kind of left Jordan hanging, much like James Braden did at No Mercy. But we will see what these two young superstars from the AOW have, and if they have what it takes to take on our tag team champions here in the Power Plant, definitely.
And I talked to Brick Wall, actually it was yesterday, and I asked him what he thought of, having to face Jordan in the handicap match, and Brick Wall, he kind of had a chuckle when he was saying it, but he said it was just like a few years ago when they were in a one-on-one match, and it wasn't that he was ignoring AC Arthurs or anything like that, but he said that he expected no less from Jordan Moore.
Yeah, and I understand it. Jordan Moore and Brick Wall have had some little discrepancies in the past. They haven't always agreed, but you expect that. They say that brothers fight, and this might be just another example of that. But it's going to be very interesting to see where that goes moving forward. And, it was. Is he? Wow!
He tuned up the band at
really early.
2 minutes in the match here. This one may end early.
I didn't really expect that to connect, but that was a huge move early by Brick Wall.
Yeah, that was a definite huge move. That definitely took Ryan Cavallari out of his A game there.
Caught him by surprise a little bit, I think. I don't think he was expecting to see that this early. I mean, surely it would make sense that they would have scouted coming into this match. They knew they were going to be here, so it would have made sense that they scouted it. So he should have known that that was that it was coming. He might have just caught him off guard, because that was probably the earliest that I've seen anything like that happen from anybody in the power plant.
And you know, I don't blame Brick Wall for being aggressive in this match. I mean, for Brick Wall, he looks at it like they're coming onto power plant turf, trying to make a name, and right now it looks like Eno might be in for some trouble here, because the tag team champs looks like Brick Wall's got him in a seated backbreaker there. Arthur's off the top with an elbow right across the throat, nothing fancy. Into the quick cover here, and Sylvestre Inno there, not even a 1 count.
Yeah, but this I definitely agree that it's going to be a hard-fought match, because, like you said, AOW did come into this trying to make a name for themselves,
and a huge springboard there.
Yeah, fantastic springboard by Eno onto Explicit. But this, like we've said, we don't know a whole lot about them, and they are trying to make a name for themselves here on power plant, in the power plant. So I can see the aggressive side coming out in both tag teams. It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, because ultimately you want to be able to prove that you can definitely go the distance, and a quick uppercut by Eno there, and then a big chop block to the back of the leg into the dirty pin here, feet on the ropes.
You saw Brick Wall get in. He was getting ready to help his partner out of that if need be, but AC Arthur's rather, getting out of that pin.
And here you see that seated kind of surfboard stretch there, and Eno able to use his head to get out of it. A kick to the abdomen by AC Arthur's. AC Arthur's whips Eno to the corner, chest first, and now tagging Brick Wall in.
And they are using great strategy, Brick Wall and Arthur's, keeping a fresh man in the match against somebody they've been able so far to isolate in this match, and that's going to be a big factor moving forward.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not saying that Sylvestre Inno and Ryan Cavalieri aren't a good tag team, but maybe they aren't as experienced of a tag team as what Arthur's and Brick Wall are. I mean, because right now, Eno, he's trying to handle this all himself, and if anybody's learned anything out of watching matches, you got to be willing to do teamwork. And speaking of teamwork, Eno tagging in Ryan Cavalieri here, a double team hip toss, then a double elbow drop, and they both jumped up at the same time from the ground. And now Sylvester doing a little bit of taunting here, Brick Wall getting back to his feet.
You wonder if they've been spending a lot of time in this match taunting. You gotta wonder if it's getting under the skin of Arthur's and Brick Wall, saying that they think that they can hang with the people here in the power plant, and they're trying to show off a little bit maybe. It's probably getting under the skin, like I said, of Brick Wall and Arthur's.
Brick Wall definitely hit that big throwback, and then a knee right across the inside of the elbow there. Now Brick Wall picking Ryan Cavalieri up into a front face lock, and now it looks like he's trying to get a tag in from AC Arthur's. AC Arthur's with the tag, and now again Brick Wall switches positions, and a big double right hand from Brick Wall and AC Arthur's. AC Arthur's going for the cover here, and not even a 1 count again.
That was great impact, great double team. They are a great tag team, Brick Wall and Arthur's. Again, as much as I hate to say it, they do get the job done in the ring.
You know, and that's what I really do like Brick Wall and AC Arthur's. I think it's great. And then a big rotating suplex from Ryan Cavalieri there, and he leaps off with a big fist drop off from the rope there.
And this is something that they are throwing a little bit of what you don't see in the power play, which is, I do agree with Melinda's decision. Maybe that's what she's aiming for, just for something a little bit different than what you normally see here in the power play.
Which, that could be good. And a big leg drop right across the back of the head. Arthur's no flies on him, goes for the cover here. There's the one, but again, quickly gets in the ring, breaks up the pin. Now Eno doing a little bit of taunt in the ring there, into a double arm backbreaker from Ryan Cavalieri. to AC Arthurs, and now AC Arthurs is the one being isolated.
Yeah, maybe I spoke a little bit too soon, but Arthurs did get a nice counter there in the opposing corner.
Oh, and then a big clothesline off the apron. Hooks the far leg again, goes for the pin. 1, 2, only a 2 count. From AC Arthurs to Ryan Cavallari, and now Ryan Cavallari, a big kind of scooping DDT there, just kind of threw all his body weight into it. Now closed fist punches here. But
come on. And I guess what the ref doesn't see, doesn't hurt him, and it's legal as long as the ref doesn't see it. But that's definitely not something that's allowed. But again, if he gets the job done, do whatever it takes to win.
And that double Irish whip to AC Arthurs in the corner from Ryan Cavallari and Sylvestre Inno there.
It just turned him inside out.
Into the ropes, catches him with that sleeper slam, but wait. Cavallari off the top rope with that leg drop. The referee starting his count there. He was at a 1 count. And as you see, Inno, he's taunting AC Arthurs, going for a pin here. Feet are on the ropes. Referee's not paying attention to that. We were at a 2 count there. Revolve quickly broke it up.
And that's what I do like seeing. I like seeing tag team partners watching each other's back, and that's 3 or 4 times that Brick Wall has jumped in. Not necessarily interfering, but really showing support for his tag team partner.
Well, ultimately, they want to show that they are a good tag team. And another big DDT to the top of AC Arthur's head there. And this time it was from Inno. Now Inno whips Arthurs to the far corner. He just caught the referee back, elbowed the referee.
The ref was there, and then he wasn't. He dropped like a log.
And then you see Arthurs. Look at this. Arthurs could have this one. We were up to a 3 count there before Inno was able to get his shoulder up. Arthurs may have had that pinfall right there.
And that might have been a little strategic move there.
Snap, and then a big boot from Brick Wall.
That might have been a little bit of strategy by the AOW tag team. Knocking the ref out. You can't count to 3 when he's laying on the ground.
That's very true. And now the sheer power of Brick Wall, definitely the powerhouse of this match. He's the biggest superstar in this match. Just picks Inno up and then slams him down.
And he sure is. He's put on a little clinic of his own right here. And the big guy getting vertical on this AOW tag team, and this. He's really shown a lot of strength in this match.
Well, the former Golden Glove boxer, Brick Wall, he definitely knows how to entertain the fans. He's always trying to improve himself. That's what he says. He says he's always trying to improve himself, and he definitely, the fans get behind Brick Wall, especially whenever he starts dancing for that ball and elbow drop.
That he does.
Wait a second, Brick Wall, he's got Inno up on his shoulders here, and a huge reverse Death Valley driver.
That is a devastating move, let me tell you. Every time I see that, I'm just kind of wondering if the unlucky recipient of that move is going to be able to walk out of this match.
Well, as you saw, Brick Wall tagged in AC Arthurs. The Click may be getting a little arrogant and full of themselves right here. And Inno switching position on AC Arthurs, and then a basic judo arm throw there.
And it might be basic, but it is effective, no less.
Oh yeah, it's very effective. And again, you saw that back rake, and then he just did a spinning kick to the back of his head.
Again, like I said, it's basic things, but if you do them the right way, do them to the right person, they are very effective.
Oh, and then a big lifted knee there, right to the jaw.
That was a fantastic move by Inno.
And now what's Inno thinking here? Inno pulling AC Arthurs to the far corner, and Ryan Cavallari tags into the corner there. Cavallari with a big boot. And then Inno, what's Inno doing? Inno flexing his hair a little bit with that running neck flip.
And Brick Wall, again, jumping in this match and showing support for his partner so that, he knows he's not in there alone.
Which is always a good thing. And as you see Brick Wall trying to get a tag going, he's trying to get the fans behind AC Arthurs. That big double underhook backbreaker to AC Arthurs in the ring. Brick Wall, he's there. He's got the hand extended. AC Arthurs tags in Brick Wall. Brick Wall, full head of steam, a big right hand to Ryan Sylvestre. Inno gets knocked off the apron by Brick Wall. Brick Wall hits the ropes, and then the driller connects there. hooks the far leg. Referee needs to get down and count this.
I
One,
think he's got it.
2,
I think he's got it.
3, and the tag team champions pick up a huge win.
That came out of nowhere. That tag from the knees of AC Arthur's getting Brick Wall into the match, and he took control. He dominated Hidden Cavallari with that driller. Once you get hit with that, you're probably not getting back up.
And I firmly agree with that. And, you know, folks, up next we do have our main event still to come. We don't know what it is yet, but we will be back in just one quick moment.
Did you hear about the car company test driving cars on the internet? You just log on, click drive, and hit the space bar to accelerate, all from your living room. That's absurd. This is the all-new 2011 Dodge Charger, available for real test drives.
And welcome back here tonight, guys. We have had 3 phenomenal matches so far here tonight. We haven't even touched the main event yet.
Exactly, and we don't even know what the main event is yet. All we know is that we have a main event. We have 4 scheduled matches. 3 of those 4 are done. You know, just a little highlight of those 3. We had 3 different guys from AOW compete tonight, and it looks like we're about. Oh my goodness!
And this is going to be very interesting. I've talked about this kid for weeks, and I'm very excited to see him in action again here tonight. This is Suicide Kid, and he is one of the up and rising stars here in the power plant.
Definitely the self-proclaimed voice of the voiceless, and I do agree that he should have been on the match card at No Mercy, and I've asked several people and they agree he should have been at No Mercy.
Yeah, and I could have kind of seen him getting thrown into that picture. He's exchanged words with several people, blowing up Twitter over the last week. He is a fan of Die Hard. He respects. He said that he respects Jordan Moore, but he'll do whatever he needs to do to get to pick up a win and pick up something that'll give him a name for himself in the power plant tonight. So it'll have to be a fairly big name that he's going up against, because we don't know too much about it. But this must be somebody big that he's going to be against here tonight. Obviously not Jordan Moore or Die Hard, as they are banned from the arena tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Melinda Grove's given him an opportunity tonight, and you got to imagine it's against. I don't know who it's against. It's against somebody serious.
Yeah, this is shaping up already to be a phenomenal match. We don't even know who the second person is.
I guess we're about to find out here. Oh my God! Oh my God!
He wants to make a name for himself. This is his opportunity, because this is one of the biggest powerhouses the power plant has ever seen.
And this is definitely going to be, in shades of Shane Sparks, who is not with us this week. Recently his child was born on Tuesday evening, so he's going to be he's going to be gone for a couple of weeks, spending time with his newborn baby. But Shane Sparks did phenomenal against Extreme, but Extreme still picked up the win. And I'm hoping that Suicide Kid can neutralize the strength of Extreme.
Well, and this is kind of maybe Melinda's way of saying that when you want to make a name for yourself, this is the bar. This is the level that you need to reach. If when you want to get that match in the main event, that you want to make a name for yourself, this is the person that you're going to have to deal with, because Extreme is definitely the person that everybody wants to have on that list of people they've beaten, they've pinned in that ring.
Well, they call Extreme the locker room general in the back. They say a lot of the newer guys, we're told, go to him when they need advice about what to do, and there's a good reason for that. I mean, this guy, he controls the matches that he is in.
Yeah, he sure does, but I don't think Suicide's looking for advice. With a big forearm and then a fantastic Hurricane Rana springboard off the top rope.
And, it's great to see Suicide Kid being aggressive, and it's great that he's being aggressive so early in the match. He needs to continue to be aggressive. Oh, and a big miss there. Now, as you see, I mean, just physical power from Extreme just deals him with that fall-away slam.
He just threw him halfway across the ring.
I mean, this is definitely going to be a real big match in a standing tie up here. Who's getting Extreme? Of course, the powerhouse gets the better of the situation. Extreme getting a little agile there, ducks under, catches him with a flip over backbreaker.
Yeah, nice backbreaker there by Extreme. And he's, again, one of those people that's been around for a long time. We've actually seen this in all of our matches tonight. We've got a smaller guy going up against a powerhouse, and that's so far the little guys have been able to take advantage of that bigger guy's size. That they put their size and their strength against them, and maybe we'll see that again here tonight.
It's very possible, you know, and it's something that I enjoy seeing, is that these younger superstars, these smaller superstars, you know, I'm not saying that it's bad being a big powerhouse, but the smaller guys are showing that you don't have to be 300 pounds to win matches. You can be 180 pounds, 200 pounds, you can still do perfectly fine in your matches.
Definitely, but you gotta kind of wonder if maybe if Die Hard had something to do with getting Suicide rather, in this match, because again, like I said, they have been conversing over Twitter, and Suicide does show a lot of respect for Die Hard, and kind of gotta wonder if maybe Die Hard had something to do with getting him in this match.
Well, I know, you know, a little while back, Die Hard had exiled Extreme from SmackDown. You know, and at the time, both Rick Wall, James Braden, and Jordan Moore, they were all in TCO, and we thought that we'd never see Extreme again, and he went to Raw, but then Melinda reversed the decision of Die Hard and said he can compete on SmackDown, and, you know, a week later we had him on SmackDown facing Shane Sparks.
Yeah, definitely, but and that might be a little bit of a shout out to Extreme, saying that, you know, that he can still have his way even if he doesn't get it exactly how he wants it, with his wife in charge. But our ref has had a rough night here tonight.
Yes, our referee has been battered this evening on SmackDown.
This is the third time he's been out on his back. And what's Suicide doing here?
Oh, and a big crossbody. Just throws himself over the top rope there. A huge crossbody. See, that's the one weird thing about Suicide Kid, is he's a bad good guy, you know, or he's a good bad guy. He's kind of literally in between the, you know, the fans cheer him and boo him at the same time.
Well, you know, you can hate somebody for what he does, but you can't hate for somebody for, you know, his ability in the ring, and that was a fantastic move by Suicide Kid, getting completely vertical, sideways over that top rope. He didn't use the rope to help himself get over it. He just jumped it.
Exactly. I mean, and you know, the funny thing is like, I mean, we know a little bit about Suicide Kid. Like, we know that he wasn't a basketball player, so for him to be able to have a vertical leap like that, that's very impressive.
Yeah, definitely. He's got that athletic ability, but then again, so does Extreme. Extreme has a size and weight advantage. He also has an experience advantage here over Suicide Kid, because he's been in this business a very long time. He knows, you know, what it takes to win in the ring. A huge kick there by Suicide Kid to the jaw, but that was fantastic extension.
Yeah, fantastic. And look at this. Wait a second. That's a modified suicide note there. Modified suicide note from the Suicide Kid. Suicide Kid going to the top rope, leaps off with an attempted shooting star. He came up a little short there.
I don't think he saw that Extreme was stirring. He wasn't still laying down there, but he went for that move anyway and kind of bit it.
You know, and it makes you wonder, I mean, is Suicide Kid seeing stars right now as he's competing? You know, I see him, he's kind of running in confusing ways, because I think he may have almost knocked himself out when he missed.
He may or may not have been out on his feet right there, but a great counter again by Suicide Kid in the corner. Those kicks to Extreme, but again, Extreme with that size advantage just picks him up and throws him across the ring again.
Now Extreme runs in with a big elbow drop there. And now again, Suicide Kid on the offensive. You know, I'm loving Suicide Kid. He definitely keeps up. He keeps the offense even when, you know, the card is stacked against him. He keeps on the aggressive.
He sure does. And, you know, I kind of had doubts when he first came down to the ring. Like I said, he's a great in-ring competitor, and I'm very excited to see where he'll move forward in the future. You know, I kind of had my doubts, thinking that maybe Die Hard just kind of threw him into this match trying to get his name out, but he is definitely holding his own against Extreme here tonight.
And now Extreme again, physical power, just a fall away slam.
It just throws him across the ring. You can't beat brute strength like that.
You may not, and look at that, Suicide Kid rolls to the outside there. Extreme telling him to get back in the ring, but wait, Suicide Kid using the ropes as leverage there to choke Extreme.
Everything's fair as long as it's connected to the ring, I guess. But that was a great move by Suicide.
And see, look at that, Suicide playing it smart here. He doesn't want to over-extenuate himself, so what he does is, instead of doing a suplex to the ring, he just does a drop kick right off the apron.
What is he doing now?
Wait a second. He's picked up that steel chair. This is shades of what happened.
And a huge clothesline. Oh! Extreme knocks the ref off the apron, but Suicide Kid with that steel chair just probably broke Extreme's ankle.
Shades of what happened last week against Explicit. Suicide Kid might be trying to pick up another. Wait a second. Suicide Kid is taunting Extreme here.
He wants him up, and he wants him up bad. That I'm not sure I understand the strategy of Extreme. He just knocked the ref off the apron, turned around and bit it right into a steel chair across the face.
Well, in Extreme's defense, maybe the referee said something to him, but he should not have taken his eyes off Suicide Kid because there's that big super kick.
That's the third one that the Extreme has taken this match. That's got to be taking a toll on him too.
And as you see, Suicide Kid telling him to get up. Extreme starting to get groggy toward him and then walks right into that big drop kick. Now Suicide Kid pulls Extreme back into a big uppercut. Kick to the abdomen here.
He has really picked up the pace and taken control of this match and into the corner. But Extreme, a nice counter, a big left hand, across the face.
Wait a second, Extreme physical power with that power bomb.
A fantastic power bomb by Extreme.
Wait a second, Suicide Kid back to his feet here. Suicide Kid calls this move the Suicide Note. And oh, that one definitely.
And it connects, but I think he caught Extreme off guard a little bit. Extreme was taunting. He had himself turned around, and he kicks out.
Almost a 3 count. And
that was a very
out.
long 2 count.
Oh, and Suicide Kid with a kick right to the thigh.
Just turned him inside out. Another big uppercut to the face of Extreme, a pull back and a nice power slam.
Now Suicide Kid, that Starship Pain springboard, and that's a very dangerous move. You can get injured very bad if you miss.
I've only seen one other person do that move in the power plant.
Exactly, that's Jordan Moore. Just being acrobatic.
He says he does have that respect that he talked about for Jordan Moore, and maybe that's something he learned from him, but he's just kind of turned into a brawl. But
wait a second. What is Dyer doing here?
He's banned from the arena, and he just took out Extreme.
Oh my God, and now he punched Suicide Kid? I mean, after Suicide Kid extended his hand to him in good faith?
Die Hard just took out both competitors of our main event.
I don't know what to say to something like that.
What just happened? He's not even supposed to be here.
Exactly.
He was banned from the arena.
Folks, I do apologize that once again Die Hard has ruined the main event for the show.
For the second week in a row.
Exactly. 2 weeks in a row now. Folks, we are out of time for tonight. We will see you again on December 10th. So make sure to take care of yourselves and make sure to tune in. Make sure to tune in next week because we're actually going to have something special for you. I'm Christopher Billings. He's Wes Steele. Have